Good Thursday evening, folks. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. Certainly a late update for you after 11 o'clock now, Newfoundland Standard Time. But I did want to give you an update because it's exceptionally windy out there this evening, and it's going to be for several more hours across areas of eastern and northeastern Newfoundland as a core of high wind speeds rotates down around an area of low pressure, scraping the northeast coast and the Avalon Peninsula. And it will do that overnight before working its way offshore early Friday morning. Now, the winds associated with this wind core or low-level jet have been exceptionally high. This is a wind gust from Fogle Island, and that was observed at 6:43 p.m. of 169 kilometers per hour. To put that into perspective, that's well into Category 2 hurricane force wind stuff. Category 3 hurricane force winds started about 179 kilometers per hour. So exceptionally high wind speeds on the northeast coast. And we're still seeing them. As we take a look at some of these observations, these are the observations from Environment and Climate Change Canada's weather stations across the province. And we can see many areas are seeing high wind speeds right now. Argentia gusting 84, Bonavista 106 gusting 115, Greats Cove 81 gusting 107 right now. Sagona Island gusting 108, the airport in St. John's gusting 102. So I know some folks certainly having their homes moving around a little bit, probably getting the sloshing around in the toilets, which sometimes happens when the winds are this high. And this will last for a few more hours. And kind of putting this into a bit of a graphical perspective for you, what we're looking at is essentially this area of low pressure offshore, sitting right here. And it's not even a closed low at this point, but it does have kind of a core of high wind speeds on its back end. And you can see it right there. So what I've got plotted on this map here are the current observed wind speeds across Newfoundland from some of the Environment and Climate Change Canada weather stations. So this station right here is observing a wind speed of 72 kilometers per hour. Greats Cove, I think this is Capeland Cove. Winds 58 gusting 101, St. John's 72 gusting 102, Cape Race winds are sustained at 68 kilometers per hour. But what we can see is this is the area of high wind speeds kind of driving those high winds across the province, across the island rather. So if I switch this over to the forecast gusts, and you can see them right there, this is doing a decent job, or excuse me, that's the forecast winds, these are the forecast gusts. This is doing a decent job at suggesting what the high wind gusts are going to be right now. And as we step through time, and I'll back the view out, we're going to watch this core of high wind speeds work its way to the east. So it looks like that's 1 a.m. my time, so that's going to be 2:30 a.m. Newfoundland time. We're still seeing very high wind speeds from Twillingate around to Lumsden, around Bonavista Bay, Bonavista Peninsula, across the Avalon north, and around into St. John's. And now we step ahead to 4 a.m., which is going to be 5:30 Newfoundland time. And again, we can see those wind speeds are still quite strong. So we're several more hours of this before we're all said and done. Bonavista at that point still forecast to gust 114, St. John's 93. As we step another 3 hours ahead, which is going to be now 8:30 Newfoundland time, those wind speeds are finally beginning to come down, and then going through tomorrow morning, it's still breezy, but the highest wind speeds are well offshore, and the winds will continue to kind of diminish as we go through time. So we have several more hours of these high winds to get through before we're all said and done. So that's kind of my point I want to make this evening. Hopefully we're not seeing the extreme gusts. I know some areas have seen winds gusting over 140, like in Bonavista and Cape Bonavista, and leading to undoubtedly some scattered power outages across the island this evening and tonight rather, from the weather. And hopefully once things calm down, those power outages can be fixed and power can be restored, but it might be a few hours until conditions improve and the Newfoundland Power can get out there and do their thing and get the lines repaired. And certainly brave people certainly go at that this time of year. So hopefully things aren't too bad, but basically just stay safe. It's going to be a bit of a ride tonight, so kind of buckle in, buckle down, and hopefully you can get some sleep. I know when it's windy, I have a tough time sleeping. My house is very, very loud in the wind, and I'm down here in the States, and where I am right now, there's not a breath of wind outside, so I'm not going to have that issue this evening. But again, kind of stay safe, folks. Again, buckle down, and by tomorrow morning, this will be a bit of a memory, but hopefully everything's okay, and it's not going to be too rough of a night for you. All right, that's all I got. So stay safe, and I'll have another update for you tomorrow if needed. But Friday looks like a pretty quiet day across most of the province.